Stadium today. More than 800 track and field athletes from 130 countries will be lighting the newly refurbished 60,000-seater stadium for the next 5 days. The past few days have been particularly hectic as the local organizing committee put the final touches. The IAAF President Sebastian Coe was impressed with the work as he paid glowing tribute to the locals. The several activities have been lined up for today's opening ceremony, which will be graced by President Uhuru Kenyatta as the chief guest. Right, and right now we want to link up with our sports correspondent, Robin Toskin, who is following this huge event that is taking place in Nairobi starting today. And a good morning to you, Toskin. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Just let's talk about exactly why this is huge for Kenya.
It's huge because a lot of investment has been put into organizing this championship. A lot of resources, as I say, up to 4 billion shillings have been spent to ensure that Kenya hosts a successful IAAF Under-18 Championship. And of course, there has been refurbishment of the Moi International Sports Center at Kasarani, the hostels at Kenyatta University, and of course the track. It's a very, very impressive, immaculate, tartan track that has been put in place to ensure that the world, enjoys this championship that begins today.
Right, and perhaps what are some of the young talents that Kenyans should be looking out for in this sports?
As you may know that this has always been the springboard for Kenyan athletes. Anytime we go and participate in the World Under-18 Championship, that is where the new names, arise. And you can see at the moment we've got athletes like somebody like David Rudisha, who's came through the ranks, competed in this championship, and now he's the current world record holder in 800 meters. We have people like Mercy Cherono who have also shown over the years through these ranks, and therefore today is just a start of such a moment where we expect so many other stars to come through the ranks. And for your information, the first two events today, we will have the 100 meters final, and then we'll have the 3,000 meters final also just immediately after the opening ceremony. As you may be aware, the opening ceremony will be from 3 p.m. and then thereafter the program will kick off right from 7 p.m. and therefore we'll be looking at talent like people like Beatrice Chebet, who will be in the 3,000 meters final. And maybe for those who do not follow athletics that much, there's a difference between 3,000 meters and then 3,000 meters steeplechase. So tonight we'll have the final of 3,000 meters. We would always like to call it 3,000 meters flat. Therefore, we have people like Irene Chepkirui, we have Beatrice Chebet, who hold a good chance of getting Kenya the gold medals and even silver tonight. And of course, 100 meters, we have a youngster called Matayo, who will be mingling with such stars from Jamaica, Jamaica, and of course other countries in Africa who have always excelled in 100 meters. But of course, again, like today in our coverage in the Standard newspaper, I think we've done all we could to ensure that we bring you all the stars, the guys who are ready, to take the world by storm by announcing their names today. And therefore, if one can find his way and get the Standard newspaper, go out there, the back pages, you'll see the coverage, the immense coverage that we put there. We have all those names there, and you can always, pick the person you want maybe to place your bet and say, this could emerge, a champion in years to come.
Yes, and of course, Toskin, the Swahili say, mcheza kwao hutuzwa. So let's hope, since you're playing at home, we're going to get a number of those medals. And maybe let's just talk a little about how Kenya's performance has been in previous games. How have we performed in previous games?
I think Kenya has been, a major, or a force in all these competitions. We've seen Kenyans, winning gold medals. And as I can tell you now, Mercy Cherono, one of the stars in the national team, that's the senior team, is one of those people, the athletes who set the records some time ago. 2009, we had our boys and girls winning the 800 meters gold and even 1500 meters gold. And also in Sevilla in 2011, we had Kenyans, winning quite a number of gold medals. And therefore, we expect that as the games, kick off today, it would be just a countdown, a time for us to sit back and enjoy the kind of performances that we've enjoyed also in the senior team. And therefore, tonight, we expect that our boys and girls will do us proud by kicking off at least that medal hunt by bagging the 3,000 meters gold medal. And if should that happen, then Kenyans should be ready for a huge gold medal harvest. The IAAF President Sebastian Coe is around. He'll be one of the key speakers during that opening ceremony. And he has really said that he's impressed by Kenyans, and he hopes also that the performance on the track and the field events will match the kind of preparations that we've put in place.
Right, Toskin. And I understand that this is actually the last of this tournament, right? And why is that?
I think IAAF are trying to move away now to restructure the athletics so that it can make it as interesting as possible. So many critics of IAAF have said that maybe they want to end this because Kenya has been a force, Ethiopia and most African countries, and of course the United States and Jamaica have been the only countries that have dominated this championship. But then they have said that they want to come up with the new ways of developing the sport. Over the years, there has been a wane in the interest in these competitions, and therefore they want to revamp it. How they want to do it, we are yet to hear that. Maybe we expect Sebastian Coe to tell us today how they intend to do it. But it will be a kind of a problem for Kenyan, for African countries or developing countries. We want this kind of competition so that we try to benchmark and see how far we've developed, to try and catch up with the developed world. But after all this, after Sunday, maybe Athletics Kenya will sit with the rest of the country and tell us then how else are we going to develop this country. Maybe we will go back to the continental championship, the African, and then you have the Europeans or even the Americans doing their own competitions and then meeting at the senior level. We are yet to know that, but then those are some of the questions that our journalists at Kasarani will be asking Sebastian Coe.
All right. And Toskin, maybe lastly, I know doping has been an issue that has really marred athletics both in the country and globally. Is this an issue that is also surrounding this particular tournament?
At the senior level, yes, we can say that doping has been a problem. Kenyan athletes have been mentioned adversely, but then there are few Kenyans who are serving suspension. But I think a lot of work has been put by IAAF, the Olympic Committee, that is the International Olympic Committee, and also the World Anti-Doping Agency. They have been coordinating, their functions to ensure that this issue of drug abuse is put on an end. But at this level, IAAF on record as having said that they want to break with the past, and they are using this under-18 championship to come with a clean slate again, so that the athletes that will emerge from this championship will have been educated on the dangers of using banned substances, so that in due course, maybe we will have an athletics competition that is free from all this. But so far, I think the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya have taken up the responsibility. They are doing quite a lot. The Athletics Kenya are doing the same. And they have even involved the government agencies to ensure that they fight this this menace. But I think so far, so good. And one thing maybe that we should give, one person we should give credit in all this is the First Lady. Margaret Kenyatta has really done a lot in ensuring that this competition is a success. And we just hope that she'll be given the chance to address the nation and tell us what exactly she's planning for the youth of this country.
Right, Sebastian. Of course, we also saw Sebastian Coe holding meetings with the First Lady and the President. Yeah. So just stay with us, talking a little bit. We want to take a look at, the previous IAAF championships. Of course, the one in Kenya begins here today and will be taking place for the next 5 days. So we just want to take a look at how previous ones have, been like. We just want to look at that on our Super Wall here, and this is how it looks like. This is a timetable, day by day timetable. Today, 10:50. Let's just take a look at that. This is previous championships, yeah. So 16th to 18th of July in 1999, these championships took place in Poland. It was the first ever edition of the IAAF World Under-18 Championships, and we had Kenya won 5 gold medals, won 2 silver medals, 3 bronze medals, and emerged in the first position. That was for the first ever edition of the IAAF championships that took place in 1999. Of course, that's 18 years ago, and 18 years later, this particular tournament is coming to a wrap. The next edition took place 2 years later, in 2001 in Hungary, and Kenya managed to scoop 4 gold medals, 4 silver medals, 2 bronze medals, and emerged in the second position in that second edition of this tournament. And let's take a look at the next one, which took place 2 years later, of course, in 2003, in July 9th to 13th July in Canada. And Kenya took 3 gold medals. I can see that the trend was we're getting less of these medals with the subsequent tournaments. Kenya in this particular edition scooped 3 gold medals, 4 silver medals, 2 bronze medals, and emerged third. Interesting, because it was the first position in the first edition, the second position in the second, and the third position in this third edition of this tournament. Let's take a look at the 2005 one, which took place in Morocco, and it was the 4th edition. Of course, Kenya won more gold medals this time, 5 gold medals, 5 silver medals, took none of the bronze medals, and emerged second position, coming back up from the third position in the previous tournament. 2 years later, in 2007, this took place in Czech Republic, and Kenya scooped the most gold medals in all the for the editions that had happened at this time, taking 6 gold medals, 4 silver ones, 1 bronze medal, and emerged second position, just as it had in the previous tournament in 2005. In the next one in 2009, this tournament took place in Italy. It was the 6th edition. Kenya again scooped 6 gold medals, as in the previous one, 7 silver medals, the most it had, and 1 bronze medal, and emerged first. The second time it is emerging in first position after the first tournament took place in 1999. 10 years later, it then again became took the first position in the tournament. Then in 2011, this tournament took place in France. It was the 7th edition. Kenya scooped 5 gold medals, 5 silver medals, 4 bronze medals, and emerged the second position. Let's take a look at 2013. The championships took place in Ukraine. It was the 8th edition. Kenya scooped 4 gold medals, 3 silver medals, 4 bronze medals, and emerged the second position. We can see that it retained that second position, is it now, for 3 subsequent tournaments. So let's take a look at the next tournament. This took place in 2015, back to Italy. It was the 9th edition, and 5 gold medals is what Kenya scooped, 4 silver medals, 4 bronze medals, and emerged again to be the second position in that tournament. And of course, now we are on the 10th edition, which is actually taking place here in Nairobi. If I got that right, I think the most gold medals we ever won was 7 gold medals, and we have been winners 2 times in that particular tournament. And Toskin, 18 years later, from what we've seen in that history, Kenya has been winner of this tournament twice and has been second position in a number of subsequent tournaments, this being the very last one. And you as a sportsman, what is your prayer for Kenya's performance maybe as we wrap up this history of the IAAF championships?
I think it's a perfect opportunity for us, to top the table again, because this is the last event, and hopefully our boys and girls will do us proud by winning the most medals. And like you said, over the years we've been averaging 5 gold medals, and the most we've had is 7 gold medals. But if you look at that, how those kids progress to the senior levels, we've seen that Kenya has been winning an average of 5 Olympic gold medals. That tells you that whoever performs well at this level, there's a big chance of that athlete or that boy and girl, maturing to become a world conqueror. And we just hope that most of the athletes that are coming through these ranks today will do us proud in the coming years. But something of significance here is the fact that if we've been averaging 5 gold medals, and you find out that all those medals have been coming on track, then there has been a change in the last 2 or 4 years or so, because we've had somebody like Julius Yego coming through and winning the javelin, which has not been our forte in the years gone by. That tells you that through these programs we can always identify youngsters who can challenge the world in other areas. Remember, in this competition, IAAF provides that the host nation can always field athletes in all, at least one athlete in all the competitions, even if they have not attained the qualifying mark, because there is always the standard time that you need to attain. And therefore, tonight, as we kick off these competitions, we hope that all these stars that we've lined up in the Standard newspaper will actually go on to become the world beaters. Therefore, the challenge will be on the Athletics Kenya and everyone connected with the sport to ensure that there's more talent coming through. Remember, the world champion in 400 meters hurdles is none other than Nicholas Bett, one of our own. Nobody expected a Kenyan, to win the 400 meters hurdles, but then we made it. That is to say that in other sporting athletic disciplines, we can still do it. We've seen in the lineup, we have boys and girls competing in 100 meters, the field events, there's the high jump, there's the javelin, there's the hammer throw. We hope that this will inspire so many other youngsters, to take up the sport and ensure that we do it best. One of the interesting things is that in Kenya, we have what we call the pole vault. Pole vault is competed in secondary schools, primary schools, but at the senior level, in a competition like this, we don't have any entry. So maybe from all this, we hope that the people in charge can go through the system and see to it that we can also compete in pole vault, like the Eastern Europeans have been really doing, and even the Americans and the Cubans.
All right. Many thanks, Robin Toskin. Always a pleasure to always speak with you. Great insights into the sporting world. Of course, today speaking particularly about that global championships, the IAAF championships that is starting today at the Kasarani Stadium here in Nairobi. It is the last of this tournament. So Toskin, they're just giving us insights and even expectations the Kenyan athletes to watch even as we kick off this. We have also